What's good, YouTube? Another NBA rebuilding up on the Phoenix Suns. This is a young up-and-coming team. I like this team potential. They got a lot of good pieces, but I think they need to move some things around and put the right chemistry and the right ball movement and stuff together. They rely too much on isolation. They take horrible shots and they settle for too many jump shots. And I think they need to get more ball movement and more positions filled the right way. I'm not a fan of the two-point guard lineup. I wasn't a fan of it with Gordon Dragic and Eric Bledsoe. I'm not a fan of Brandon Knight and Eric Bledsoe. It didn't work that good. And Brandon Knight is a young up-and-coming player. I just don't like him at the two guard. He is more of a scorer, but he just too little, and he just they just a mismatch. Same with Gordon Dragic, just mismatched defensively. And you got a player like Gerald Green that can heat up, that can take over a game. He's athletic. He's tall. He's tall. He can shoot the three. He can shoot the mid range. But they got too many black holes on this team, and that's why I seen with Gordon Dragic. They got too many players that just look to score. They don't really got no defenders. They just got isolation. I want to score the basketball type players. Even Markieff Morris, he more of a give him the ball, he gonna score type of player. So one thing I want to see about the Phoenix Suns is to add more ball movement. Move the ball around, get the best shooters, get the best spacing, get the right floor spacing, and just move the ball around until you can get the best shot. Kind of like the Atlanta Hawks and the Spurs. They don't really have a franchise player. They don't really have a dominant player offensively that can take over a game. They got a lot of role players and a lot of good young up-and-coming players that possibly could turn into franchise players in the future, but they not right now. So I would like to see this team add a little bit more ball movement and a little bit more less isolation, more ball movement. I like to see from the Phoenix Suns. They score 102 points a game. That's 11th in the NBA. That's one of the best offenses in the NBA. But like I said, it ain't perfect. It's just too stagnant, and that's gonna hurt them against good playoff teams if they ever made the playoffs. Rebounds. They averaging 43 rebounds a game. That's 17th. But then again, they start Alex Len and Markieff Morris. None of them players are dominant rebounders. So being 17th ain't that bad considering the rebounders in the center and the power forward that they got. I'm not surprised that they wanted to work they middle of the pack in rebounding, which is actually pretty good considering they don't have no game changing rebounder yet. So I like to see them improve on the rebounding, but they don't really got the personnel to do that. And then they 20th and they 27th in assists per game. Like I said, this team relies too much on all isolation and jump shots. 27th in the point in assists. They are 11th in offense, but they horrible with assists. So that just show you that they can score the basketball, but they not doing it the best way. So if they can improve their offense with more ball movement and more touches and get the best shot available instead of a jump shot over two people, they will be one of the best offensive teams in the league. Next, they 26 in points allowed. Like I said, they don't have no defense. They don't got no stoppers. They don't got no defensive players. So that's something they're gonna have to work on. The only two people I know that got potential to be good defensive players are Eric Bledsoe and Alex Len. He can be a rim protector. Eric Bledsoe can be a lockdown defender at the point guard. Other than that, everybody else are just offensive players, even on a bench. This is just an offensive team. They don't have nothing else but one-on-one scorers. So with that being said, we're going to talk about who they should get. Now this team, it has one of the brightest futures because they got a good coach. I just don't agree with his philosophy, and I just don't agree how he runs the team. I don't think he needs 2 point guards. I don't think he should go with 2 point guards. I think he needs to change his offense a little bit more. I know he won 48 games last year, but they didn't win 48 games this year. So they got to develop and get better. Alex Len, I made a video about him. The guy has high potential. He needs to get the ball more so he can develop quicker. He needs to get more isolations in the post. He needs to get more post ups. He needs to get more touches from the jump shot so that way he can build up his confidence and become a better center. He took over Miles Plumlee. They end up bringing in Brandon Wright, but they probably might not keep him. So they got a lot of centers already on his team. With that being said, Alex Len has high potential. I just think the coach need to do better job of getting him more involved so that way he can build his confidence up and become a game-changing player. He can't do that just being a screen setter. He can't do that with 3 to 4 shot attempts a game. He has to get more touches so that way he can develop quicker and get some growing pains and learn from his mistakes and become a better center. He was a top pick in that draft, and they're not using him like that. He got the potential, and I like what he does. Eric Bledsoe is another player. He became an all-around player last year. Whether he improved from the three-point line, he improved from the mid-range, he attacked, he rebound, he playmate. You don't need Brandon Knight. You need a 6'7", 6'8" shooting guard that can knock down threes like Gerald Green. You don't need another point guard to take the ball out of Eric Bledsoe's hands. You need to keep the ball in Eric Bledsoe's hands the most. He makes the best decisions. He's the best decision maker. He's the best attacker. He's the best player on this team. And you have to have the ball in his hand as much as possible. He needs to be the primary ball handler and the primary decision maker. And I like his game. He is an all-star caliber. He's not there yet, but he's been playing close to the level of an all-star. And I think if he can attack more, get the ball more in his hands, and become just a little bit more better shooter, he can be a 20-7 type player with at least a steal in the block and at least 4 or 5 to 6 rebounds. So that'd be all-star, all NBA type numbers is the type of player Eric Bledsoe can become. He got the size, he got the strength to do anything he wants, and he got the athleticism. So the sky is the limit, and he has been improving every season. Now, Markieff Morris, I like his game. He's become one of the best players in the league for the power forward position. He can shoot, he can post up, he can get to the free throw line, and he a knockdown shooter, and he'll stretch forward. I like Markieff Morris. I don't think he's tradable, and they got him on a cheap rookie deal. So I mean a cheap deal anyway. They're not paying him that much money. His development has been good. Credit to the coaching staff and Jeff Hornacek. He developed very, very good, and I like his game. I'm a fan of Markieff Morris, and I think he is a go-to player on the block. So the things they should look forward in doing. One thing they should do in free agency, they got a whole lot of money. They should go for a shooting guard if they don't get Gerald Green back. They should go for a small forward that's athletic, that can do a lot of things, kind of like a Gordon Hayward type of player. They need, or a Kawhi Leonard who's gonna be a free agent. They should go after them type of players because they need a small forward that can rebound, play defense most importantly, and still take over a game, whether it's defensively or knock down some spot up threes, knock down some mid-range, or you can even move Jeff Green to the 3 and just get a 3-point shooting small shooting guard that's 6'6", 6'7", kind of like Steve Novak or something. Put him at small forward, but you need somebody at a small forward that's athletic, that can play defense and do all-around things. So they need an all-around type player at the small forward. They need a shooting guard at the shooting guard position. They need to develop Alex Len and build his confidence up. Keep letting Markieff Morris get better. Let Eric Bledsoe take his game to the next level. And this team they won't be a championship contender. They need a better bench, and they need better pieces on the bench and in the starting lineup. Then, once they draft, they're not going to get a good draft pick. So, because they won 39 games. So with that being said, I don't really know what they should do draft-wise. I think they should draft with the best talent available because they're not going to really get something. Either you get something that's a sure thing or you draft something don't get a gamble with the pick they're going to get. So what the best thing to do is draft a player that can come in and be a role player, or just draft a player that is what he is and he going to do what he can do on the NBA court. So, a person that can translate quickly, because they already had their lottery picks with Alex Len and Markieff Morris. They drafted good on those. Now it's just time to draft another player that got a skill set, whether it's a small forward, whether it's a shooting guard. Just draft a young player that just already got an NBA skill set and make them an all-around decent player like they did with Markieff Morris. So that's what I think they should do. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis signing out. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And next up is we're going to keep continuing the NBA rebuilding series after this video.